Navajo Stirling back in the ring this weekend. King in the Ring's back in action. You're not in the tournament this time around. Probably a few kegs too light for you with the middleweights taking center stage, but you'll be in for a super fight against Kurt Douglas, fighting out of Whangarei. First of all, it's been a little while since we've seen you. What have you been up to?
Yeah, so basically I've just been focusing on like MMA and making the transition. We kind of took this fight. It was a short notice fight, like it was just a 4 week notice to they wanted to really stack this card up. So I hadn't been busy and couldn't been find a MMA fight. So we just took it and said, I've been training real hard, so I was in a good shape. And yeah, just took the fight and hopefully, yeah, let the hands go again. It's always a good outing on King of the Ring. Yeah, I love fighting on that show, and Event Finders, like, it's real familiar for me. So yeah, it's good.
Do you know much about Kurt Douglas and what he's going to bring?
Yeah, actually, I saw his last fight. I think he fought one of the contenders from, I think it was the last 8 men I was on, and yeah, he wasted him in the first round. He's been fighting quite a few top guys around New Zealand in my absence, so yeah, I've had my eye on him. So I've noticed he's been fighting quite a few guys. I kind of thought this fight was inevitable. I was supposed to fight someone else, but for this King of the Ring, but yeah, I had a pull out, so he stepped up on 2 weeks' notice, and I was kind of like, oh, I really wanted to fight this guy anyway, so it was kind of like it all fell into place.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know the two of you and what you bring, it's pretty much just going to be an all-action fight. Very,
Yeah,
very fun to watch. The fans are going to love it, and this is just great matchmaking, really.
yeah, no, it's good. I think I saw quite a few comments on like Facebook and then people were like, oh, this is like, we're in for a treat. Like, people have been following him for a bit and seeing he's like kind of going on and taking up the road. I think I've seen him knock out some of the guys that I, only took to decision. So, it's a good. I love hearing the talk. It promotes it. So yeah.
You mentioned you've been focusing more on MMA. Couldn't find a fight in that. You made the move up to City Kickboxing a little while ago now. Just on that decision, when you look back on that, how do you feel about, I guess, that point in your career and this being the right step for you moving forward?
Yeah. So like I'm in a like a weird situation, is where I'm like gonna have to, as like a light heavyweight, they're pretty scarce in the Oceania scene um for professional MMA. So basically, like, my route is going to be a lot different to some of the other guys that have made it, and some of the other guys that are trying to go for it. So I've basically been told, like, you're not going to have as much experience as a lot of these guys before you get your shot. You're probably going to be in there like pretty thrown in the deep end pretty quick. Like we're talking like 3 or 4 fights before I like have a shot at like a contender series or something. I think it was the same for Carlos. He only had about 4 fights or something before they put him in. I think I'm going to be, following his footpath, and just get thrown in the deep end quick. But where I get my confidence from is, I'm supplementing that with, high level training. So like that's going to get me up to speed, and then it can be quite hard to measure like progress because everyone's so good at our gym. But yeah, I always get told, from some of the big lads, like, oh, you're doing better than you think you are. So it is good to have like those guys around me to support and to look to when I need someone. So yeah, no, it's awesome.
You mentioned you've been looking for light heavyweight fights. Is it possible for you to look at potentially cutting to middleweight if you did need a fight, or would you rather, fight at heavyweight because you don't
Oh
have to go through that cut?
man, that's a huge cut. There's a huge cut. I mean, I don't think I'd be able to make it. Um, Yeah, I've never even tried, but I think when I was like 18, when I was 19, I made a cut to 89 kilos and I was sucked out there. So an extra 5 kilos on top of that, especially like my muscle mass is growing a lot bigger. I don't think I'd be able to do that. I think the other option would be to go upper weight, and maybe try heavyweight and take on a big dude. But because I got the height to carry across the division. So, I wouldn't be lost with height, but more so just like weight, like being heavy, because I'm more on like a leaner side. So yeah, if I could find that light heavyweight matchup, that would be awesome.
Yeah, a lot easier said than done. Like you mentioned, Carlos, I know he had to fight at heavyweight just to get a fight down here. And he
Yeah,
got his contender shot after, I think, 3 or 4 fights. Have
yeah.
you spoken to Carlos in particular about, I guess, his road transitioning from kickboxing to MMA and to where he's at now?
Oh, like very vaguely. I haven't like had like a deep conversation with him about it, but every now and then I'll just ask him and stuff. But it's more from Huge and that just telling me. But yeah, not nothing too much. It's just from my own kind of speculation, just looking in from the outside in.
I mentioned before that you'd moved up to City Kickboxing a little while ago. You're not the only one sort of looking at doing that to expand your horizons in the sport. I saw Nicorelli Kingi is up there now. Fergus Jenkins has been training there as well. Is that
Yeah.
something that all you young guys are kind of starting to see, that to be recognized, to have a shot to make that next level, you do need to be in Auckland or even specifically in that gym?
Yeah, I think it's just preparing for the world stage. I think that's what it is. I think we can only do so much outside of the gym before, like, people love New Zealand, but they don't want to travel overseas, especially in these times. Um, and I've heard what it's like over in the States, and that, everything's it's just a transaction, you got to pay for everything over there, and these guys don't really care about you that much. I think it's just like embedded into like Kiwi culture, like, you like our trainers, they look after us, and there's like that respect, and those no one feels really, there's no entitlement there. It's just respect across the board. Everyone treats each other well. I think that's like something that we have in New Zealand, that's like pretty cool. So I reckon it would be like, it's like probably a big culture shock if like one of us was to go overseas and train at some of these American gyms, and it's like, oh, this place ain't as good as it was made out to be, because I'm always seeing guys in the UFC like switching camps, and then I'm like, what the hell, did they not have like a very good relationship with the coaches or not? So yeah, it makes you wonder. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't happen at City Kickboxing. Once you're there, you stay there. There's nowhere else really to go, and they all look after you, and all the teammates. Once you start building that team bond, it's hard to come away from. It's contagious.
Yeah, that's sort of more what I was getting at, like making the move up to Auckland because there's more opportunity to get scouted as
Yeah,
opposed to staying down in Wellington like you were. I mean,
yeah,
of course, you were doing some pretty good stuff down in Wellington, but is that basically the whole reason all these young guys are sort of coming up
yeah.
now?
It's just coming up for the next step. Yeah, because you can't. I mean, you can, but it's like it is real hard, because when you're coming from small gyms, it's hard to get those connections, unless whoever you're training under has like previous background and knows a lot of guys overseas, maybe. But it always helps to have a good team around you as well to train with. So yeah. Well, that's just my opinion on it, anyways.
You're what, still only 24, right? You still got a
Yeah,
long career ahead of you.
yeah.
When you sit down and think about that, is it hard to, I guess, not think too much about trying to rush things, like just
Yeah,
trying to
I've
take
always
things
like,
as you should?
yeah, I think like light heavyweight division kind of runs old, like there's not like really much young guys at the top right now. It's all, 31, 32 is you're looking at prime times right there.
I mean, Glover Teixeira is
Um,
40,
yeah, I
world
mean, look
champion.
at him. Yeah, 42. Now he's got the title now. Like he had gone through heaps of like beatings and that, but he made his way and he finally got it. Once you touch that belt once, you can say to yourself, at one time in the world, I was the best. I was the best in the world. So no one can take that away from you, and that's huge. I only wish that for myself too. But I'm not really like getting down on my age or anything like that. Like I'm a baby. I'm a baby at the gym. So yeah, I just try to take everything as I can. I know to myself that I'm a real fast learner, a real fast learner. I always have been, and when I put like my work ethic behind and just stick my head down and just listen to those who are guiding me, because there's that trust too. I have a lot of trust in my team. Yeah, it's good. I think, yeah, like light heavyweights not is more like an athletic, division too, not so much like skilled. I don't think. Like I think the skilled guys stand out in that division, but it's mainly athleticism. You see guys coming through steamrolling. So yeah, I feel like I could catch up to that and surpass them. My athleticism's there. It's just yeah, getting my skills way past everyone else so that I can really make that gap into the UFC.
Back to King in the Ring, like you mentioned, they stacked this card up. There's a lot to like about it. In terms of, I guess, your own training partners, there's 4 guys from City Kickboxing on the card. How has that been with preparing for this fight?
Yeah, like I mean, there's the boys on this card, and there's been heaps of fighters training for MMA, and just heaps of fights in general. All we were training at the same time, so there's definitely like a energy, at the gym that it's contagious. We all kind of feed off each other. Just a bit of banter and just chatting. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool, man. I enjoy it a lot. I love being around like other fighters. Getting prepared for their fights and seeing how they go through things, and ask them questions. I try to like pick everyone's brain on it, on like how they deal with things and stuff too. So I can take in my back pocket as well. And I hear like stories. I get stories from Mark and that, and like back when they were fighting around the world or whatever. It's cool for me. I love hearing that stuff. So yeah, it's definitely like a different energy. It's not doesn't feel so lonely. But my last 8-man was pretty lonely. It was just me. So yeah, no, that's awesome.
I was talking to Eugene a little bit earlier, and he mentioned sort of the wider life of a fighter. I mean, you're still young and coming up the traps. So I wonder if you could just sort of give us a glimpse into what an average day looks like for you. Like, what time are you up? What are you doing throughout the day?
Yeah, I've actually been like shooting a bit of film, like with Māori television and Whakata Māori, just like on my like daily living and whatnot. Um, I was working as a forklift driver for a long time, just like full time and working nights, and that's hard on the body, like trying to like get to sleep after, like it's real hard, and that I had to kind of like slow down and drop my hours on that. I ended up working casual just a couple nights a week, and then just so I could push everything into fighting. And then I've just slowly I did a PT course. I started studying for a PT course so I could like schedule a work around my own kind of like lifestyle, and yeah, I'm working. Yeah, just got a job at YMCA, so I'm working there now. And at the moment, I'm just coaching like kids basketball and stuff I used to play
Nice.
basketball back in the day. So yeah, just doing a bit of that, and yeah, hopefully slide into some more PT roles and just receptionist work, and just a bit of everything in the recreation center. So yeah, it's just that, and just training, just training. I mean, it's all I've got to work. I'm not like a full-time athlete. I know a lot of people have made that decision, but I don't think I have like the funds or like the people to depend upon to be a full-time athlete. But if I just find a good routine and stick to that for the next like 2-3 years before I make that shot, that being a full-time athlete is not far away. So yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, I think that's what people who might not, I guess, follow combat sports quite so closely sort of realize. They see all the athletes competing and they don't sort of realize, that it's not the most lucrative sport to be competing in. And until you get to that highest level, like you do have to live a normal life.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like you just gotta, some people have it different. Like some people like live close or, live at their parents' houses and stuff. I haven't lived in my parents' house since I was 18. I've been like flatting since then. So I've had to pay my own bills and you know, make my own savings and try and sort of make our moves. And yeah, I've just been trying to hustle and change jobs and just try find like hours that's going to really fit my training, because I need to work, I have to make a living. Um, but I need to also, you got to focus on your training and shit as well. So it's a hard life, but you know what? It makes you stronger, makes you stronger, that's for sure. So that's the one positive.
So man, I guess just finally, just how much sweeter does it make it when you do finally get a fight booked and do get into the ring to show everyone what you can do? Because I mean, this weekend on King of the Ring, that's broadcast free to air in New Zealand. A lot of people tune into that show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's the best. Like I love King of the Ring, man. It's kind of like built me up to be who I am. It's built up my reputation. It's such a professionally run organization, and I love to be a part of it. I'm so glad to be a part of this card because this is like probably the most stacked card we've had in a long time. So just to be a part of it, and people like they feel like they're getting their money's worth, and um yeah, I just try to be iconic, from the blonde hair to the way I carry myself. I just want like to be remembered, as that guy. So just a warrior, and yeah, it'll be good.
So man, we'll leave it at that. I'll let you get back to it. Thank you very much for the time, and I hope all goes well on Saturday night.
Yeah, no, all good, brother. Thank you.